So, welcome to Tuesday Night Film Club. Tonight we're unpacking The Florida Project. Every week for our Tuesday Night Film Club, we send out questions with a movie in order to help you consume mindfully and find a little community who also loves films.
Love it.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, this is our first episode, so we're really excited.
Yes, so excited. And we love The Florida Project. It was incredible. Okay, so question one, which character from The Florida Project did you feel the most protective over and why?
You know, as cliche as it probably is to answer, I felt really protective over Mooney because even though they were all in not great situations, I felt like hers was slightly worse. Like Scooty's mom had a job, Jancy lived with her grandma, and it just felt like Mooney was in a little bit of a worse off situation because Haley couldn't find a job.
Yes, 100%. I was very stressed about her situation for her, but I loved that she was in her own world the whole time. But for me, the person that I was literally stressed about was Haley. Even though it was obvious, Mooney, of course I was stressed about and protective over her. But Haley, I saw her as her inner child.
Yeah.
100%. I just knew that the way that she was mothering was what she was shown, and it was just one of those, you could see that it was a cyclical thing for her.
Yeah, because Haley was a child as well. I mean,
of course.
And they almost had kind of a big sister, little sister vibe rather than a mother-daughter vibe.
Totally. And I think that's what Sean Baker said he was going for, right?
Right, yeah, because he said that they were looking, when they were casting people, they looked for that specific chemistry.
Yeah, and they were perfect. By the way,
nailed it.
That actress, Haley, first time actress, I think.
Yeah,
she was an Instagram model?
Yeah, they found her on Instagram, gave her acting classes. She was incredible.
She was incredible. This movie was amazing. I believed her story through and through.
Yeah, well, only two of them were actually actors, Mooney and Jancy.
Yeah. Okay, so Scooty was legitimately
living in that motel.
Yes, and that's one of the coolest things that Sean Baker did with this movie was allow the people of this story that he's telling, he's allowing the people that he's telling the story about to capitalize on this or at least profit from it and not just be exploited for their story.
Right.
He included them in it and allowed the dialogue to be very natural, I think, a lot of times, especially with the kids.
Yeah, they were definitely ad-libbing a lot, and I think it's important to note too, he did note that he knew giving them this job wasn't going to set them up for life. But it was just a small token to show appreciation for letting them into their space and being able to tell their stories.
Yeah, and allowed for much more authentic storytelling, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so question 2. Did The Florida Project remind you of a time you were trying to survive something quietly, and how did it make you feel?
You know, I struggled with this question because it did make me feel like I was the child when I was watching it.
Yeah.
But I couldn't really think of a specific moment for this question, but what really resonated with me was the feeling of being a child around adult themes and kind of understanding it but kind of not, and you just understand it in the capacity that you're able to understand it.
I agree. It really captured the idea of children being exposed to things while still maintaining their extreme whimsy and childlike wonder, because I didn't feel like they were, obviously they were affected by their situations, but I didn't feel like they were brought down by it. They were making a magical summer out of their experiences, even if it was them burning down a house and sharing an ice cream cone.
Yeah, it still felt very whimsical, but then there
Yes.
were some dark things peppered in.
I think for me it reminded me of the same thing of just being a child and being asked to kind of be around these adult themes that are not filtered for you per se, just being acutely aware of how much money you have or whatever as a kid, that's hard. And I could see that they were aware of it, but at the same time they were still very much in their own world. That was kind of beautiful. I loved that.
Yeah, I did too.
Okay, so what moment from the Florida Project made you unexpectedly emotional?
Unexpectedly is tough because I was expecting to feel emotions, but
Right.
Again, maybe this isn't so unexpected, but I was actually thinking about the ending, which, spoiler alert, I assume if you're watching this, you've seen the movie, so sorry. That at the end when Mooney was crying and being taken away, the whole time I'm watching this movie thinking like, please someone take this girl away. Like, but you feel bad for Haley and you see their relationship and you don't want them to be separated. I was really sad that it was happening.
I was very sad. I think like her sobbing scene shook me, even though I know I'm a crier and I get emotional very easily. But it was just so shocking to me how like much emotion she was able to emote. I mean, it was just beautiful. I did think of another scene that really made me unexpectedly emotional. Obviously, it was meant to evoke emotion. The scene where Haley beats the crap out of Ashley.
Oh, yeah.
But the way they filmed it, that's what really, like...
From behind Scooty's head.
From behind Scooty's head, and, like, he couldn't see his mom, and the way he's just, like, sitting there. It's always really intense when kids are experiencing something very adult, and they are just deadpan.
Yeah.
And that, I really...
It's like you see the trauma forming in real life.
Literally, you can just see that they're like disassociating, and I like totally relate to that. Obviously, that's how I coped as a kid, was just like go to the happy place inside my head. It was just sad, like, to watch that scene. Like, I keep replaying that scene, even though I love Haley and I like loved her in that movie. It was like, it was like I couldn't stop imagining that scene where she just wailed in on her. It was crazy.
It's visceral.
Okay. Where did you recognize your younger self in the Florida Project? In Mooney's joy, her chaos, or her resilience?
I would say her resilience.
Resilience, big time.
She just, like, she kept her, like, personality and her childlike wonder throughout. Again, some really adult themes, and I just think that's beautiful, and it makes me want to believe that Mooney's going to be okay, even though Mooney is fictional, but there are so many kids like Mooney.
Oh, of course. Like, this movie felt so real that I just wasn't even in a state of, like, this is a story. Like, this just felt like a documentary to me. And it was. It is real.
Was.
I mean, yeah, it kind of was. They used actors from the area who were living in these motels.
Because it wasn't just the kids, it was adults as well. It was all of the kids except Jancy and Mooney. And all, like, not all the adults, but a lot of the adults in the background.
Yeah, it just helps you get lost in it. Yeah, I definitely saw myself in Mooney's resilience because her joy kind of astounded me. Like, it was beautiful. I didn't really expect the whole movie to be so joyful. I mean, it was colorful, it was cinematic.
The purple.
Yes, it was whimsical. I love the Purple Hotel.
Yeah.
It just captured such a beautiful story, and like it just didn't feel like a story about poverty and CPS and everything that it was about.
Yeah.
It was, but it did, obviously, because it was really raw, but it was just so beautiful.
It was. And Willem Dafoe basically did it for free just because he liked the story. Like, the whole budget for the movie is probably more than his salary normally is.
I don't recall hearing anything about this movie, and it literally was so beautiful to me.
Mm-hmm.
The cinematic scenes, like Willem Dafoe lighting his cigarette when all the lights turn on.
Oh, we love that scene.
It's just little things like that. And then the rainbow scene, that wasn't CGI. They caught like a real rainbow.
Mm-hmm.
And they like had the kids it's just so much of it was like spur of the moment.
Yeah.
Fun and improv, and I know that that's a lot of film, but like it was just magical for it to be these kids and like first time actors and in this like real place, like this real motel right outside of Disney World.
And the name, the Florida Project, actually just comes from Disney World using that as the name of their project for Disney World. So it's kind of like a play on, like, it's talking about Disney World. Obviously these kids live in poverty, so it's like just showing the duality of what childhood can look like.
Yeah, the disparity, especially. It's the most magical place on earth, meant for kids, and these kids will never get to go because their parents aren't even able to get a job, and they aren't even able to eat, a consistent meal every day. Like, they live in a motel. Like, it's hard.
Yeah.
How did the Florida Project change the way you look at people who are perceived as living on the outskirts of society?
Well, I didn't know that people lived in motels like this like, obviously I knew people who lived in motels, but I didn't realize it was like a community like this, that there were particular motels for this purpose, that they're like, because it showed in the movie that there were like multiple motels around doing the same thing, and like I didn't know there were like clusters of communities, just people living in motels. So that was really eye-opening for me, and I think that's really nice that the Florida Project brings awareness to that.
I don't think this changed the way I perceive people living on the outskirts of society. We've always loved slice of life documentaries, like the weird, like, misfits or the people that don't fit in, like, and I'm always just intrigued to see the human side of things. I'm always just curious to see, like, how people actually handle these hardships. And that was what was so beautiful about this movie, is that there's just so much positivity. Yeah, they're living day to day, figuring it out, but hey, right now we got waffles. Like,
yeah.
Hey, right now we're splitting an ice cream cone and it's great. A lot of people can relate to a story of a child enduring adult themes and still having this childlike wonder, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's beautiful. But it was a great movie.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching the movie with us, guys.
Yeah, we hope you liked it as much as we did. We hope, even if you didn't like it as much as we did, that, you know, it made you feel something, that you learned something, and we'd love to hear everyone's opinions.
Yeah, definitely, like, share your comments below. We want to hear what your thoughts were, what your answers were. I think it's so fun to discuss art, movies, and hear all our different interpretations.
Yeah.
So let us know what your answers are to these questions, because we totally want to know. Every Wednesday, we'll send out a new movie with reflection questions, so you can sign up with your email at the link in our bio. We won't use your email for anything else, of course. But we send out a new movie every Wednesday, so you can join our little film club, and it gives you an excuse to, like, watch a movie mindfully and think about it.
Yeah, and we send out the questions in the movie on a Wednesday, and then the video comes out the following Tuesday. That way you have, like, about a week to watch it. We didn't want it to be, like, pressure time.
Yeah, exactly. Just watch it at your leisure.
So thanks for joining us, and we will
see you next Tuesday.